Yeah, so it's been pretty busy with the MCU lately. We still haven't finished the What Ifs reviews.
We're not going to either.
Yeah, and I was thinking maybe to help us with the workload, we could possibly hire a third co-star.
Yeah, don't you remember what happened last time?
Congratulations. You're officially part of the band.
Welcome to the club, buddy.
Let's get something straight. It was the first and the last time either one of you will ever touch my ass again. Are you clear? See you at rehearsal.
Hiya, Thanos. We're the lamest offenders.
I don't even know who you are.
We have a small but dedicated fan base.
Be sure to visit our sponsor at BaskervilleProductions.com.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Claude, and this is Clinton. We're the lamest offenders, so I'll do the intro for him. So for this one, we have a movie that literally I don't think anybody asked for, which is The Eternals.
Yeah.
Before we get started with the review, I remember looking at the trailer and thinking this is one of the most pompous-looking movies I've ever seen a trailer or a teaser for. Yeah. And then, sure enough, it's really smug throughout the entire... How long was it? About
2.5 hours.
And it felt 2.5 hours. It wasn't like Endgame where you're like...
Yeah, everything's like wrapping up. Like, oh, okay.
So basically, the movie opens up with almost like a Star Wars title crawl coming down.
Which is always a good idea.
Yeah, I didn't come here to read.
Man, this movie's going to suck. That's the first thing I thought of.
So basically, it's the Celestials who have been really active in the comics lately. Maybe because they're trying to hype this movie up a little bit. But
yes, so they're trying to, basically, the Celestials will implant... Other celestial eggs?
They bang the planets. You can see this big celestial.
So they basically have to cultivate in these planets, and then they have to absorb the population once it's reached a certain point. Mm-hmm. So basically, the
Threshold.
Eternals are the Deviants try to stop that from happening. So they just keep wiping out people
because they're evolving, and because they want to just keep killing, and then they're a species of their own. So. Yeah. And then, obviously, this is where the Celestials are like, whoa, cool.
Yeah. We need our army of robots. Our seven robots? I don't know how many robots.
Well, there's thousands of Eternals, but this movie specifically focuses on this, this gathering of the Juggalos, the motley crew, if you will, to basically them and other Eternals are robots that are basically made for the sole factor of just getting rid of deviants, because deviants are too good at their job. So
because the Celestials that are born will then create stars and planets, and they will also create billions of lives. Mm-hmm. So it's just like, okay,
blows up one planet, but you get
creates like 5 or I don't know. They didn't really specify the numbers, so
no, and it gets lost with that, and then it really just opens up with them. The Eternals are on it was like 300 BC or something.
I think it was 2000 BC.
2000 BC.
Like 2000, 5000 BC. I think it was maybe 5.
Yeah, you see me and Clinton out there catching fish, and then you have this dog, sexual deviant, come out for a little snack, a little powwow, and then the Eternals are like in sync all of a sudden on the beach line, and then they're fighting the deviants. And I will say one good thing about this movie, and there's a few, but the one highlight for me is the CGI looks so good in this movie compared to almost all the Marvel movies. It looked excellent to me.
Oh, okay.
If you
go with that,
if you compare this to a movie like Black Panther, where it was obviously rushed,
PlayStation 2,
where I don't know if COVID had anything to do with them having more time in the oven to make the visuals look great. Icarus's main power, he's basically a flying Cyclops. And it looked excellent.
He's Homelander. He's literally Homelander. So, But I thought Athena. I almost said Homelander. Icarus looked great. His eye blast, everything looked awesome. It was very well done. Athena looked
played by Angelina Jolie.
Yeah, she looked rough around the edges when she was moving and jumping all over the place.
And it was always funny because her thing is obviously she's a great warrior, and it's anytime she had her shield up and her spear, she's And it was just like, all right, zoom in on her jawline. I don't know if it's in her contract or something, but it looked ridiculous every time. Yeah. So for this movie, honestly, the main character is Cersei, who is her main power basically is to turn things into dust or rearrange a molecular level of something, which is kind of neat.
Yeah, but my biggest problem with Cersei is when they're in London in contemporary times, and one of the deviants crashes into a bus. And the bus goes flying. So we have no idea how many people. There's at least one person on there, a driver, and she just turns she turns the bus into like a bunch of like poppy flowers or something like that. Rose petals, yeah.
But you do see the driver though pop out.
You do? Yeah. I didn't see it.
Maybe you're eating your mac and cheese bites.
Those are terrible. I am sorry. I thought she just killed a bunch of people. I was like.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it'd be weird anyway to have an empty bus with that guy, like just the driver. Yeah. But and then you have another. I'm gonna call her 7 Up because her name's Sprite in the movie, and she
David
is
Bowie looking.
Yeah. She's a child, and she is a trickster basically.
She's Loki.
She's a crappier Loki.
It's
not as charismatic or funny or has any screen presence of Tom Hiddleston.
Other than that, perfect Loki.
And then you have, let me look at the list here because none of them were memorable. So you have Fastos, who's
the engineer.
His towards the end you get to see more of what he's capable of, especially when he's fighting. Like he's just throwing out like
he wanted to build
Tinker
toys. He wanted to build a steam engine in like 200 BC. It's just like. Hold up.
Yeah. Hold on, buddy. Yeah. And then you have Makari, which is a super fast lady who her effects look really cool and how she's fighting.
She was awesome. Yeah. It made me want a Quicksilver movie, honestly, or something. Hell?
And then Druig, who kind of gives this illusion in the movie that he is the true bad guy because he just has this kind of like menacing presence when he's on the screen, but really he's a good guy. Like he wants humanity to stop fighting, and then eventually it gets revealed, I'm just going to fast forward a little bit, that the Eternals are being used to cultivate this planet. And then he gets told this news and he wants to help out. He realizes there's good in humanity. And then you have Ajak, played by... Was it
Selma Hayek?
Yeah.
She's a healer.
Yeah, and so she's the de facto leader for the group. And then it gets revealed, or I guess she reveals to Icarus eventually, that's the Celestials' plan is basically to blow up Earth. And that's where the big twist comes in, speeding things up once again, that Icarus is actually a bad guy because he devoted 5 to 10,000 years following this plan for the Celestials to blow up the planet and birth the Celestial. So, why are you laughing?
It leads to this long, drawn out, it was almost an hour-long fight, wasn't it?
Oh, towards the end?
Yeah, towards the end. It was almost an hour-long fight.
Because they're all trying to stop Icarus and... 7 Up.
Spend almost 45 minutes trying to fight Icarus.
Yeah.
I keep wanting to say Isaac. Trying to fight Icarus.
Rob Stark.
And then Cersei is freezing the Celestial or turning him to marble. I don't know, one of those.
I can't remember. Marble.
It was marble. Okay, it was marble. So
please get your rock formation.
Turn it into marble. I failed geology. And then, so she's turning him into marble, and then basically Icarus spent 7,000 years to get to this point and just lets her do it.
Yeah. He's like, I love her too much.
I love her, man.
What was weird in that final battle, I guess their whole game plan is to combine all the Eternals' chi or something in order for Druig or whoever to basically stop the Celestial from coming out the birth canal of the Earth and blowing it up.
The volcano.
And then so they're like, oh, this Celestial, we gained his power, and it almost seems like he let them do it. Yeah. So he lets them kill him, which it just felt a little bit weird, and it wasn't explained very well.
Yeah, I don't know what they were doing. But I don't know what they were doing.
Let's rewind a little bit with Cersei's main love interest in the movie, who was only in it for 10 to 15 minutes.
Oh yeah.
Was it the Black Knight?
Yeah,
played by Kit Harington, aka Jon Snow.
Jon Snow, that's it.
Yeah, so he.
Too many people in this movie.
He's so stupid in the movie. He's just
really dumb.
Yeah, he's just really a big hunk. Yeah, he's just because it's just
He's a professor, mind you. He's a college professor.
Yeah, in London.
And he's an idiot.
Yeah. He's just like, I think my girlfriend's a magician.
Yeah.
And then they get attacked on the streets of London, and he sees this dino dog coming around.
Yeah.
One of the sexual deviants is barking up the wrong tree. And then that's when Rob Stark kind of like comes back and like saves them all. And it's just kind of sloppily done.
He sees Rob Stark shoot lasers out of his eyes. Whoa. And it's still like, so are you magic man or something like that?
You're gonna turn me into a giraffe?
Like, damn it, Jon Snow! Like, he's so dumb.
Oh, yeah.
No, I love the storyline. Actually, like the base plot was really good. I did enjoy it. It reminded me a lot of the Earth X comic storyline from the mid to late 90s, where this is basically this is almost verbatim what the storyline was.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, and it was tweaked a little bit, but there weren't any Eternals involved, especially basically the Celestial Egg was changing humanity into mutants. Like it was the cause of mutants and everything else. Earth X is a great comic, and you're getting 12, 13 issues out of the event. So you can probably
read it faster than you would.
Yeah, go read it. It's way better.
Yeah.
So but that was good. I really enjoyed it, but it was too rushed. Like something was.
In this movie, you thought it was
rushed? The movie was too rushed.
Which is crazy because this movie's 2.5 hours and you feel every minute of it.
You do.
There's a particular scene, or a series of scenes in Babylon, and I'm like, they could have cut out all of that.
Yeah.
Because that's their home base, and it takes them forever. And it's just like, you're padding this movie that doesn't need to be padded. So I'm wondering how long this movie originally was and how much they had to cut down.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
Visually, like the visuals and the cinematography looks awesome in the movie. Yeah, they did a really great job.
She won an Oscar recently, so yeah, she's talented.
Yeah, and I just don't know why they went with this movie. Like the Eternals, it's just I don't think anybody was really asking for a movie like this.
I feel like this movie was 5 years too soon. It should have been at least 5 years from now. Like we just came out of Endgame. Like we just had the world coming back to normal. We don't need the world about to be destroyed again. Like so soon. Just give us some smaller give us some smaller storylines.
Right.
Like I was so like as soon as they said, "Oh, he's gonna blow up the world," it's like, "Oh,
here we go again." Yeah. Before we get to our final review score, I do want to address some more stuff about the sexual deviants. So their leader, Crow, for whatever reason, he's a special deviant that can absorb the Eternals' powers, and then they're starting to starting to realize that obviously they hate the Eternals because the Eternals are going to each planet, wiping them out. Yeah. But Crow, the leader of the deviants, apparently he's special because he's able to hentai some of the Eternals and absorb their power, and he's evolving like a Pokemon.
Yeah, he becomes like almost human.
Yeah, and I was like, I want to see more of that.
Yeah, I know.
I wanted to see, they just threw him away.
Do that.
Yeah.
Like they rushed him. They rushed his exit.
Yeah,
and it was just like, no, go back, explain that more. Like, that's just it. The base storyline for this movie was solid, but it needed more time. This should have been a Disney Plus show. This should have just been like no-name actors, Disney Plus show for like 6 episodes for an hour, whatever, 30 minutes to an hour. Draw everything out, explain it, and it would have been a lot better. That's my opinion. But
yeah, and one more character that I liked in some doses, but it was just again like Shang-Chi with Awkwafina, where there was just too much stupid stuff. Like I mean, like you can have help me. You can have comedic relief. You can be the funny bone of the movie, but like Kingo, like I liked some scenes he was in, but it was just too much at times. Like he was just too many.
It wasn't even that funny.
There were some things that made me laugh, but I mean, it was probably like 2 out of the 20 jokes. I don't know. And then he has his cameraman because he's a Bollywood actor.
That was the best character in the entire movie.
I would like to see a Disney Plus
his
show.
valet. Yeah. That was the best movie or best character in the movie.
Because he was great. Yeah, because Kingo wants to document everything about this because now it's getting revealed that he's an Eternal because he's this big famous Bollywood actor. Yeah. And then the Eternals live for a long time, so he's just been saying like it's his dad. His
like lineage. 6 generations of actors. Yeah,
which it was really funny.
That was a great touch. Yeah, like that was a very good part.
There's some weird things in this movie, and you'll know when you see him because I can't remember him. But the one that stands out is 7-Up. So she can't grow up.
Sierra Mist.
Yeah, Sierra Mist, Pepsi Lime. She's in love with Icarus towards the end, and I thought it felt a little bit weird because I'm like, she is a child on the screen, and she acts somewhat like a child in the movie. I'm like, are they gonna bang?
What are you doing?
Because
what are you doing, Disney?
Yeah,
knock this off.
Yeah, because Icarus loved Cersei, and then 7-Up was a little bit jelly of that. And then there's also this one in the MCU. It's our first sex scene too in the beginning of the movie, which I was like, damn, all right.
Yeah, I was just like, oh no, we don't. I was
like, please, no, not 7-Up. Oh, she's too innocent. Do not do this.
Yeah, they're all robots.
Yeah.
Like this reminded me so much. They're like a very high functioning robot. Like they almost have their own. Like their memories are stored in this like ship or life foundry, whatever it's called. And I'm just like, this is Battlestar Galactica.
No one knows that crap.
It let people know.
You and Dwight from The Office.
Blade Runner. How about that?
I can get behind that.
There you go.
So there's 2 actual end credit scenes for this, like most Marvel movies. The first one is pretty cool because if you read the Infinity Gauntlet comic way back when, you have Pip the Troll, who is an alcoholic troll, and kind of like us. And he is heralding for Star Fox, which, if you don't know anything about Star Fox, who is played by Harry Styles in this movie from One Direction, the boy band from, I think, Australia, he is the brother of Thanos. I have their posters. Yeah. So he is the brother.
Loosely tacked. Just pray they fall out every night.
So he's Thanos' brother, and then you'll learn more about Thanos as turns out like growing up he has some of the deviant gene, and then some of the residents of Titan are actual Eternals. So that was really cool just to see that. And
Mailman's baby.
Why is he purple? I don't know. So Pit the Troll is voiced by Patton Oswalt, which is pretty funny.
Cool.
Man, I love talking about CGI, but that he didn't look very good. It kind of looked sloppy.
No, yeah, it wasn't that great.
No.
It was just like, oh, okay.
Well, all right, well, Pit the Troll's here.
Yeah, thank God we got this character.
Everybody's
been waiting for it. I can't get Daredevil, but we have Pit the Troll in the damn thing.
Give it time for Spider-Man. There's rumors. Yeah. But and then the second after credit scene is Dane Whitman, which is Kit Harington / Black Knight / Jon Snow, and he has Excalibur. They're radiating the liquid metal, and then it's calling to him like the One Ring, and it's just like, pick me up, daddy. And then he's about to touch it because he has this bloodline, this ancient bloodline that allows him to turn into the Black Knight. And then who do you think we hear?
Oh, I think I hear Blade.
I
think he says like, I didn't remember what he said, but he's like, careful with that.
Yeah, stop.
Yeah, hey, don't.
Yeah, hey, man, don't do that. So, what would you give this movie?
I'm gonna give it a 6. 6. Sadly, this is the best MCU movie so far. We're still waiting on Spider-Man.
Oh yeah.
But this has been an awful year for MCU movies. Like
they had time, all the time in the world. I think it's weird because this movie's getting crappy reviews, crappier than Shang-Chi, and I thought Shang-Chi was way worse than Eternals.
Yeah, I did too.
Which Shang-Chi, to me, besides Spider-Man, obviously was my most hyped thing for this year. I thought it was going to be amazing, and I was really excited for that, and it just turned out to be a mess.
Yeah, the first half of Shang-Chi was great. The second half fell apart. It was just stupid. I hated it.
It was just an entire action scene for an hour.
Yeah. Which normally could be cool, but when you're just a CGI dragon, I don't care.
It reminded me of Age of Ultron, but that's the Shang-Chi. That's
go watch that review.
Yeah.
Please.
We poop on that one. So honestly, I would give this one, I would say a 6.9.
Nice.
Yeah, exactly. Because I don't remember what I gave a Shang-Chi movie score, so I'm just gonna say 6.9 because there's no way I gave it a higher score than that.
Yeah, I don't think you did. I doubt it.
So yeah, that was our review for the Eternals. So
it felt like an eternity.
Yeah, it sure did. So that's 3 bad movies in a row in our humble opinion. But you know what? We'll take the 3 turds if it leads to the greatest superhero movie of all time, which is Spider-Man. I'm not hyping it up or anything. But anyway, that's our review, guys, and thanks for watching this one.
Appreciate you. Stay lame.
Bye.